So, looks like there's going to be a repeat of March. Lockdown seems like it certainly could be on the cards for the whole UK. It's definitely going to be happening in Wales, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland, and a lot of other places. Israel went into lockdown, Belgium, France, Czechia, places like that, looking like they're going to go into lockdown as well. It's scary, really scary, and there's a bit more resistance to it than there was last time, but still, the government still has its talons stuck in the minds of the people, unfortunately. It's been quite interesting what happened in Manchester the other day. Andy Burnham was like, okay, we'll accept your lockdown restrictions, but we want more money. And the government was like, you can't have any more money. And then he went to lockdown. He was just like, okay, everyone follow the law. for a while there, I did admire him for a little bit in a way, because he did have some defiance to the government, even though it was in the context of having a lockdown. It's just, in terms of it. But he ended up in the end, like pretty much every other politician. Yeah, don't even get me started on the Tory quote rebels. But it's really scary at the moment. There's really a war on for your life, for your humanity. They want you to be wearing face masks all the time. They don't want you to see anyone. They they want you to meet your friends online and stuff. It's completely dystopian. And they can't keep the gravy train moving for much longer. It's going to it's like, so I heard someone did a really funny metaphor for Rishi Sunak being like a guy in a nightclub, with like a bottle of really expensive vodka, throwing $100 bills at strippers, kind of, and that's some sort of what Rishi's doing, but with everyone else's money. And it's going to run out at some point. Like people, they borrow from on investment and stuff, and people there's going to get to a point where they're not going to be able to borrow much more, and it's just inflation's going to kick in, and it's going to hyperinflation's going to kick in, and that's not going to be fun for a lot of people, anyone with any savings. The spending at the moment is it's like nothing before, in physical war, outside of physical wartime. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen in the next few months. It's not going to be good. It's starting to not be good already. It's looking like there is going to be a full lockdown at some point over the winter, maybe even sooner than we think. It's certainly the case, like I said, the case in Wales and Ireland, and to a lesser extent Northern Ireland. Mark Drake was like, I am announcing a national 2-week firebreaker. just complete disregard for human rights and stuff. These are scary, and we are fighting for our lives. People are saying that it's possible, but things will never be allowed to go back to normal. We'll never be able to travel normally again. We'll never be able to go to a festival again or have a party, it's really scary. But it's also exciting, we are witnessing, I guess we are also victims, but we are also witnessing the greatest, overhaul of just society and history. There's nothing to even compare this to. It's so shocking, how things have changed that you can't even think of anything to compare it to. It's really hard to even put it into perspective. It's almost just like people just have them, the reason that there's not much resistance is because people are just, their jaws are dropped. So, what the hell is going on? And I don't really know. That's the thing. I don't even know what to say about it. It's been going on for ages. It's starting to get a bit boring now. But of course, when there are developments, it's worrying, but also just very interesting. We are against history. Certainly, you know, in the ballpark of one part of the communist regimes of the 20th century, and yeah, stuff like that. And Holocaust, the amount of people who are going to die because of this, like over 100 million people around the world reported to have been thrown into extreme poverty because of this. You know, people in India who lost their jobs overnight when there was a lockdown. And you know, there's no strong welfare state there. They can't, you know, they need to, you know, they can't eat and stuff. And so I think 100 million, that's probably being quite optimistic. Like, and out of those, you know, people in extreme poverty, lots of them are going to die, unfortunately, die earlier than they would have. So yeah, hopefully there will be people who are made to answer for their actions. The pain and suffering causes immense. Like, pretty much everyone has just been robbed of 6, 7, 8 months of their life, and it keeps adding up. Yeah, so never forget about what has been done to you. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, and just never forget this part of history. Hopefully it will one day be history, but right now it's very real. It's very real.